everybody. This is Mike and I'm back. Um, this topic in the Notary Refresher training will New York Notary Publics be replaced by an AI, artificial intelligence? And we're going to be exploring the future of notarization in New York State. And today is May 28th, 2026. This is a hot topic. A lot of people are concerned. A lot of people are losing jobs right now because of AI. And we're going to get into how that's going to affect we notary publics in New York State. So we will discuss what is a New York Notary Public, current legal framework, including remote online notary, RON, how AI is already being used in New York State, and can an AI fully replace notaries? In other words, they don't need you anymore. The pros and cons and human elements, future outlook for 2026 and beyond, and my conclusion, having taught the New York Notary statutes and founded the Notary Association with 25,000 members, and also I drew upon and researched the expert opinions all around the country on this topic. Okay, so what is a notary public in New York? We're a commissioned officer or we're licensed by the New York Secretary of State, and that's under the Division of Licensing Services. Our term is 4 years, renewable for life, like a driver's license for $60 every 4 years. Our key duties are we administer oaths and affirmations, take acknowledgments, affidavits, and proofs of execution. And we must be physically located in New York State, within the physical boundaries of New York State, when we notarize, whether online or in person, for all notarial acts, whether in person or online, remote online notary. We're required to keep a journal of all acts for 10 years since 2023, when the law was updated. Okay, so New York notary laws today in 2026, just cover a few of the things that affect the topic of this video. Notaries first passed the exam for a traditional face-to-face with a warm body required notary license. It's a $60 fee. We sit down for a 1 hour, 40 question, multiple choice exam. Our students usually finish it in 15 or 20 minutes. And there's electronic notarization, RON, legalized January 31st, 2023, at which time we updated the exam prep because now the exam's a lot tougher. Even if you don't want to be a remote online notary, you have to pass the exam with new questions about that as well. Notaries must separately register and add remote online notary with the Department of State for an additional $60 fee. So if you want to be a remote online notary, you have to first become a traditional notary, so it's $60, then another $60 for a total of $120. RON uses approved platforms with audio, video, identity proofing, and credential analysis. We'll get into that. And the notary must be physically in New York during the session, and you must record in journals, and we have to retain our records for 10 years. Kind of like when we file taxes, we're supposed to keep our records for 10 years in case they audit us. And then there are times when you will need to notarize face-to-face, because not all circumstances allow remote online notary. So the rise of remote online notarization in New York allows real-time remote notarizations via video used for real estate, legal docs, corporate filings. It still requires a human New York commissioned notary. So bam, there it is. We are not being replaced by Iran. But when we notarize online, we have to use specific software. We can't just video chat somebody. We have to have specific software, and that requires us to run it, a licensed notary. So there's no AI notary option in New York State. Only registered electronic notaries qualify. And we have now increased accessibility, but added security and record-keeping rules. So how AI is already involved. So our document preparation review, for example, AI drafting, identity verification tools, biometrics, and liveness detection. If you don't know about biometrics yet, when you get a New York notary public license, you can notarize people and you're gonna have to check their ID when it's face to face. But if you're gonna do it online, there's the biometric data of us is all captured, like when we get a driver's license in New York State now. Um, and you go into a large box store, a large chain store in New York State and anywhere in the country, there's cameras everywhere. I'm sure you've noticed. Those things are literally scanning your face and linking you to your biometric profile and recording everything you do. And that can be called back up in your file. So that's fraud detection against deepfakes and forged IDs, AI chatbots for scheduling and basic guidance. In other words, our software that we notarize online with will email them before the meeting and chat with them and give them instructions how to prepare for the meeting. But the final notarization, oath, and judgment of the signer, that's you, uh, verifies the competency and awareness of the person whose signature is being notarized, still require a human notary. So our jobs are secure right now until maybe in the future they're talking about a basic income for everybody where people won't have to work anymore, but that's a long way off, I hope. Okay, so arguments raised for AI replacement. Automation could handle routine checks faster. We have 24/7 availability and lower costs notarizing online. You can do it from your home or your office. One outlier analysis in 2026 that I researched estimated that 85% of displacement of risk for routine notary tasks. So in other words, it's going to verify ID and things like that when you're online doing this, you're not responsible for it. Like when you ask them for ID, you notarize them in person. And advanced AI could theoretically verify identity and documents, but there's still the human part that we're completing by seeing the person talk and speak and making sure they've got it together. And so that's beyond the AI verifying their IDs and things like that we have now. So why AI cannot replace New York notaries? There's a legal barrier. Only a commissioned human notary can perform the act, and that's under New York Executive Law 135C, covered in our remote online notary class. So it still requires human judgment. So we assess the signer's awareness, willingness, and capacity when we talk to them video face to face. And liability and accountability. AI cannot be commissioned or held legally responsible. AI cannot be a state officer in charge with perjury, like a crooked New York State notary can be, or an incompetent notary can be, where we can lose our license and even be charged with crimes. So there's a rising need to combat AI-generated fraud, the deep fakes, the synthetic identities. We're all being attacked constantly by phishing emails and fake phone calls and fake texts. I'm sure you're all sick of it like I am. And we're on the front lines now for fake notary online. Requires our human judgment and element on top of the AI that verifies the identities better and protects us. So we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just a little bit of AI assistance is good, but we're not being replaced. And the New York State Notary Association and experts have deemed that AI is a tool, not a replacement of the human factor. So is anyone out there besides me creeped out by the AI videos, articles, texts, phone calls, art, and identity theft attempts? Yeah, apparently there are protests going on right now. For example, they're trying to replace artists. I, for one, do not like AI art. I want human art because, like it says here in this banner for these protesters, real art has real hands. Okay, so a little bit more discussion about the robots, the AI, the bots versus us human beings, us licensed New York State notary officers. The AI strengths are speed and efficiency. It assists electronic notary platform. It has document scanning and fraud pattern detection. It scans the photo ID and assesses records. The human notary strengths, real-time judgment of intent while talking to the customer. You're going to be talking to them face to face through this software. And we have personal accountability still under the penalty of perjury and executive law I quoted before. Legal authority under New York law has an appointed state officer, not an AI. Okay, so the future outlook, 2026 and beyond, AI will continue to assist notaries, better verification, workflow tools. Demand for notaries is actually increasing due to AI fraud risks, which we're all exposed to every day. RON is now standard, but still human-led by you and me. No legislative movement to allow fully autonomous AI notaries exists, and it takes a long time to get that kind of laws passed through the stages of bureaucracy, so it looks really good for the interim. Notaries who adopt AI tools will, however, thrive. Those who don't may struggle. We recommend what we feel is the best remote online cloud platform that works in the background with AI assisting. But you are running the show and directing the meeting, talking with the client. So we have recommended and vetted with Synix software. We have several hundred of our Notary Association members using that right now. No complaints for years now. And, it was the first one. They're out of Tennessee. It's HIPAA compliant, financial, FINRA, FDA. It's all approved and vetted by the federal government. So that's the one we recommend you go with. The state doesn't recommend one. New York State must approve the software, so you're going to have to give them a sample before you're fully licensed to be a remote online notary. And the state won't recommend because of conflict of interest and their liability. So you must show them what you picked, and then they say if they're going to accept it. So like I said, we vetted Synix, and also we were able to meet up with them and get a 10% discount link for the members, because we have over 25,000 members, and you can get that in the description box below, that link to the discount page, or in our newsletter. It's always there, and we recommend you take advantage of that. Okay, so the conclusion is no, New York notary publics will not be replaced by AI, at least in the near or interim future. AI enhances efficiency and security. Human judgment, legal commissioning, and accountability remain irreplaceable. You are irreplaceable. We notaries are more essential than ever in an AI-driven world to combat fraud. The recommendation is embrace the AI tools while staying current with New York electronic notary rules. It makes your job smoother. It protects you because it's going to verify their IDs that they're going to need to upload before the meeting. The software and the AI is going to vet them out, and you're not responsible for that anymore unless you're face to face. Sometimes traditional in-person notary acts are required locally, like in real estate closing for some counties. It varies by county in New York State. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, you need to check with your county. You will not be telling your boss to log in to get notarized. Can you imagine your boss coming over to your desk, he or she's in a rush, and they give you a paper and they say, I need this notarized right now. You're not going to say, hey, go back to your office and wait for the email and upload your documents and your ID, and then we'll have a scheduled meeting later. That's not going to fly. So you're still going to be able to notarize face to face when you upgrade to a remote online notary privilege as well. You have a choice then. Every time you notarize, which one you're going to use under the circumstances. So learn the laws in our remote online notary RON course, and get the AI tools working in the background with our vetted RON platform approved by New York State. It's called Synix. And we have the 10% discount. We met with them, and because we have over 25,000 members and several hundred of them using Synix, we were able to negotiate a special 10% discount for you. Okay, so as usual, please visit our website, how to become a notary in ny.com. We have New York online notary classes, notary supplies, hundreds of testimonials that we never solicited, 5-star reviews, New York notary exam schedules for those of you getting ready to take the exam. sample New York notary practice exam. For those of you that aren't notaries yet that want to see what it's like, it's a 40-question multiple choice exam. They give you an hour. Our people usually finish it in 15 or 20 minutes after they've been through our training. You can join the New York State Notary Association, and of course, you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but there's more in the actual newsletter that comes by email. And then, of course, our remote online notary RON training. Any questions, call me, Mike, at 347-427-9091, extension 1. And as usual, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thanks for your valuable time. I'll catch you on the next one.